Have you ever found yourself sitting in a car, gripping the steering wheel, and suddenly wondering why on earth the British drive on the left side of the road? I mean, it's one of those quirks that seems to baffle everyone who isn't from the UK. You might be cruising through the countryside, admiring the rolling hills, and then it hits you. Why left? Why not right? What's the story behind this seemingly odd tradition? To get started, please take just 1 second to like this video. Your support encourages me to continue creating this content. Let's dive into the history of it all. The practice of driving on the left dates back centuries, way before cars were even a thing. Picture this: the medieval times, knights in armor, swords at their sides. Most people were right-handed, so it made sense for them to keep their dominant hand free to defend themselves against oncoming threats. By driving on the left, they could easily wield their swords against any potential attackers coming from the opposite direction. It was all about practicality and safety, even back then. Fast forward to the 18th century, and we see the rise of horse-drawn carriages. These carriages were often designed with the driver sitting on the right side. If you think about it, sitting on the right while driving on the left allowed the driver to better judge the distance between their carriage and oncoming traffic. It was a way to ensure that they could pass each other safely without getting too close. So, this left-side driving became more of a norm, especially in England. Now let's not forget about the influence of the Romans. They were known for their extensive road networks and their own driving customs. The Romans drove on the left too, and with the expansion of their empire, this practice spread into various regions. However, after the fall of the Roman Empire, many of these customs faded away, and different countries began to develop their own driving rules. In the late 18th century, we see a shift in Europe. Napoleon, the infamous French leader, had a significant impact on driving customs. He decreed that everyone should drive on the right side of the road. Why? Well, he wanted to assert his dominance and create a unified system across his empire. This left the British, who were quite fond of their left-side driving, in a unique position. They decided to stick with what they knew. And thus, the divide between left and right was set, creating a driving culture that persists to this day. But it's not just about history, it's also about the practicalities of modern-day driving. Think about it. When you have a country like the UK with its narrow roads, roundabouts, and charming little villages, driving on the left actually makes sense. It helps maintain a certain flow of traffic that feels more natural for those who have grown up with it. Plus, there's something oddly comforting about knowing that you're on the left, especially when you're navigating those winding country lanes or bustling city streets. Now, if you're someone who's used to driving on the right, the idea of switching to the left can be a bit daunting. I mean, who hasn't experienced that moment of panic when you first step into a car in the UK? You're suddenly on the wrong side, and it feels like the world has turned upside down. But here's the thing. Once you get the hang of it, it's like riding a bike. Your brain adjusts, and you start to feel comfortable. You realize that it's just a different way of doing things, and soon enough, you find yourself navigating the roads like a pro. And let's not forget about the cultural aspect of it all. Driving on the left has become a part of British identity. It's something that sets the UK apart from many other countries. It's a quirk that tourists notice, often leading to amusing anecdotes about the confusion of getting into a car on the wrong side. It's a conversation starter, a way to bond over the shared experience of adjusting to a different driving culture. So, the next time you're driving through the picturesque landscapes of England or simply scrolling through your social media feed, take a moment to appreciate the history behind driving on the left. It's not just a random choice. It's a tradition steeped in practicality, safety, and a bit of quirky British charm. And who knows? Maybe it'll give you a newfound respect for those winding roads and the rich history that comes with them. Driving on the left isn't just about where you place your wheels. It's about being part of a story that spans centuries. A tale of adaptation and cultural identity that continues to unfold every time someone gets behind the wheel. Thank you for exploring with us here at the Corner of Curiosity. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more fascinating content. As always, feel free to leave your curious questions and thoughts in the comments below. Until next time.